Today I've got a little bit of a treat here. I've got a Monte Pascoal that was sent to me by the wonderful people at Monte Pascoal, which also goes by Brazilian Puro. Excuse me. It's made with Brazilian Mata Fina tobaccos. The entire cigar is made from Brazilian tobaccos, and we're about to light it up here and see how this is. I like to toast the foot before I clip it. That way I don't get the air through. Let it up a little bit. It's just on the dry side. Well, the cold draw and the first draw have a very nice flavor to them. There's no pepper, but I'm getting a nice flavor of tobacco. There's nothing harsh, nothing really sharp. There's just the slightest bit of a mineral type of flavor, kind of a twang to it, but just very, very slightly, like there should be, light tobacco flavor. Right now it smells really good. I'm getting a nice nutty scent to it. Need a little cinnamon. Definitely not tasting cinnamon. It's got a pretty tight draw to it. Not very loose, but it's not overly tight. For me, I like it because I like a little bit of a tight. Finishing off the first third of this Monte Pascoal Robusto cigar. So far, it is delicious. At a bit of a mineral twang in the beginning of it that's dissipated. It's backed off quite a bit. The mineral twang in it now is a very nice complement to the flavors. Getting a really nice nutty flavor to it. Almost a cinnamon, but not spicy. It's got a very pleasant aroma to it. Not a lot of smoke coming off of it. This would be a great indoor cigar. People that don't like cigars, that you're sitting around, or an event where you may be afraid that somebody's going to smell a stronger cigar. If they smelled this, it's one of the ones that they'd come over and ask you, what are you smoking? The aroma coming off is great. I'm getting a nice cocoa, nutty, almost a light leathery, but rich tobacco taste out of it. And so far, I'm enjoying it. As you can see, there's not a lot of smoke. There's a little bit coming off of the foot now. Ash is holding on strong. Very well-made cigar. When I first got this, I noticed that there were hardly any lines. The cold draw on it was tight, but not too tight. If you like a tighter draw, this was absolute perfect tight draw. The size was perfect. So far, the burn has been exceptional. No issues whatsoever. And it's burned nice and cool. And again, that aroma is fantastic. The 100% Brazilian tobaccos used in this cigar really set it apart from everything else. I've had the Brazilian Mata Fina before, and it's a delicious tobacco. With 100% Brazilian, it adds a really different and unique flavor to it that personally I really like. I think it's something a little bit different than what you get out of the Honduran or the Nicaraguans, even Dominican, where you can recognize those different flavors and different tastes, different aromas of them burning. And in this, with it's something a little bit different that maybe you might not recognize or something that you're not used to. Whereas the Mata Fina is more widely used than the rest of the tobaccos in this. And I really think that it makes this cigar. Well, I'm smoking a Monte Pascoal. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The ash is holding on like a champ here. The tanginess has come back, and I'm not a big fan of the mineral or tangy taste of it. However, in this, I'm not minding it so much. I like it. It's a nice addition, as I said before, to the flavors that are in it, and it almost brings the flavors out a little bit more. It seems to come and go. The tanginess will sit in there for a couple of minutes, a couple of draws, then it'll go away for a bit, and then it comes back. It's actually really nice when it does come back. It's lingering, but it's not a really sharp flavor like I would get towards maybe the end of a cigar or in a Connecticut wrapper. It's a nice, pleasant, citrusy tang to it. And personally, I'm liking it in this cigar. The smoke picked up a little bit, which is nice, because it was I like a little smokier cigar, not always off of the foot, but mouth full of smoke. It seems to have increased a bit, even with a slower draw. It definitely increases the smoke output to begin with. So I've been drawing on a little bit lighter, but a long, slow draw, and that seems to have made a difference in the smoke output. You can see it's a lot more. Ash is still holding on pretty good. It's burning a nice even pace, not too fast, and it's not lingering like some of the other ones I've had where this is 2 hours into the cigar. But it seems like a nice burn rate. It's still very nice even burn to it, and the flavors are still holding on. They're changing up a little bit to make it interesting enough. It's not boring, and again, these are really different flavor to them that I like. It's not something you typically get, and it's a nice change up, even from the regular ones that maybe you prefer. That it's something just a little bit different flavor to it that isn't in most other cigars, and that has to do, I think, with the Brazilian tobaccos, that it's 100% Brazilian. All right, the ash finally dropped on the final third of this. Was getting into the beginning of the final third, and the leather flavor was replaced by a nice woody flavor, nice light woody flavor. So now I've got a nice with that nice light woody flavor along with a bit of the hazelnut, and a very nice cigar smell, tobacco, almost like fresh tobacco smell, which is really nice in a cigar that's already lit, and I'm getting a very, very, very prominent cedar aroma and taste to it, along with the cedar, along with it more like a smoky wood, and the hazelnut is making this a very, very interesting cigar. The flavors are very unique. I don't think I've ever had anything with these flavors to it. I'm really enjoying this quite a bit. This is not my usual flavor profile. I like a sweeter Maduro. I like pepper. I love Ligero. So for something like this, that I'm enjoying it as much as I am, I'm very happy. It's impressive. The mineral, almost cedary twang seems to have dissipated quite a bit. There's still a light flavor, just enough on my tongue, but it's not lingering in my mouth, which is one thing that I don't like. Is when that flavor lingers for too long. And the burn is still perfect on this. No touch-ups. The construction is still intact. Nothing's come unwrapped. The burn, the ash is a little weird now since it's dropped, but that's normal. Otherwise, this has been a great cigar. Now, I've been saying I enjoy this Monte Pascoal cigar, which I am. Now, up to you, your personal preference. For me, this isn't my typical flavor profile. I like trying different things. I do obviously have my favorites, but I've been smoking cigars now for over 20 years, getting close to 25 years, And I definitely have favorites and preferences in my cigars and flavor profiles. This isn't in my usual flavor profile, but it's one of the reasons why I decided to branch out and do some different things. I've been trying a lot of new, different blend cigars, a lot of the newer companies that are coming out, and that's what my reviews are going to be focused on, is these smaller companies who are just starting, companies that are coming back, very small batch, local stores who are making their own. We've got a local store right around my area here that buy the tobacco and they roll them in store. Absolutely superb cigar. It should be top of the line in any store, and that's a local cigar. I'm sure there's many others out there like that, and that's really what I want to showcase, is to find a lot of these cigars that are out there that people don't know about, that are very good cigars. This is something different. It's not your typical cigar. It's not something that you would usually find. I know David Off is venturing into the Brazilian tobacco arena. They've got one out that's a Brazilian. I also know that Mbombe is using some Brazilian tobaccos. But this being 100% Brazilian cigar, Brazilian Puro, makes it very unique. I think it's worth a try. I would definitely say if you like something a little bit different, you like a medium to full cigar that has that nice twang, very cedary taste, then this is definitely box worthy. These are very well made cigars, and well worth a box. And if not a box, at least give them a shot. Grab a 5-pack, give these a try, and see what you think. I think these should be in stores right up along with some of the better cigars. It's again, I can't say enough about the construction and the burn. It's perfect all around. It was a very well made cigar, and when you get it fresh, before it's lit, it's got a very light smell to it. It's not very strong, but you can smell that nuttiness and the light wood smell to it. It's very pleasant aroma. Burning it has a very pleasant aroma. It's very different, very unique. I know a lot of people were raving over the My Father's H2K this year. It's reminds me a lot of that different aroma to it than your usual cigar that you know, big dark cigar that's poofing out plumes of gray, white, and blue smoke that, you know, people are used to, that cigar smell. This does have a light cigar smell to it, but like I said before, it's almost like a fresh cigar smell, like I hadn't even lit it. So the smoke coming off of this is if I just opened my humidor and I'm smelling it. I love it. Now, I normally do my reviews with a nice backdrop, usually with someone else. I'm doing this one by myself outside. I love being outside, and being in New York State in December 2nd and still being able to sit outside without freezing is a nice treat for me. And enjoying this cigar is a double treat. So you're going to see normally when I do my reviews, they're going to be in a nice setting. Today I felt like being outside. This is going great outside. I would love to try the smaller one indoors, just to get a little different feel, see if the flavor is any different. But so far, I'm enjoying this just the way it is. I'm sure I would enjoy it inside. I'm enjoying it outside. So stay tuned and watch for more of my reviews. I've got a lot of reviews written, and several that I've done on video. But this will actually. Sorry, I love smelling the cigar. It smells great. It's been a real joy smoking the cigar. I'm so glad that they were kind enough to send me a couple to try, and I recommend giving these a shot, especially if you like something a little bit different than normal. If you're a little adventurous, give these a shot. After you have your first one, it won't be adventurous anymore. It'll be a regular, I think.